I wish somebody had told me this before I started Mounjaro. Oh boy, I would have saved myself so much heartache and pain. I mean, proper pain, and sometimes so uncomfortable. So this is why I'm making this video. I want to give you guys a heads up. If you're about to start on Mounjaro, what's Mounjaro? It's a weight loss injection that you can take once a week. If you go and have a look at the rest of my channel, it explains everything in there. I do weekly videos. I've been on it 4 months and I've lost 4 stone. Yep, 4 stone. I'm somebody at 59 that couldn't lose a pound before Mounjaro, even when I was fasting. It was ridiculous. It is a miracle drug, but it doesn't come without its problems, and it can be a bit of a bumpy road if you don't prepare yourself first. Number one, Mounjaro will react to certain foods. You need to keep this in mind. When you start Mounjaro and you think you can carry on eating what you did before, and you think Mounjaro is going to magically vanish those calories, think again. Mounjaro will have a reaction to certain foods, and some of those symptoms and side effects are severe. I'm not joking here. You may experience vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, sulfur burn, crazy heartburn, even gallstones can get triggered. Things that are going to happen, pretty much guaranteed, if you eat certain food. Now, we all know if we're here to lose weight, we're obviously aware of what we should and shouldn't eat. Oh, we get that. Thing is, Mounjaro will react and give you a reaction to certain foods, and that's fats, oils, anything fried, anything spicy, alcohol, fizzy pop, your fried stuff. Did I mention that one? Sugar. Because Mounjaro is a bit of a slow digester as well, if you are suddenly going to have a bout of heartburn, be prepared for it not to be over within half an hour. It'll last hours because that stuff's digested slowly. So you're going to have to start thinking about changing the way you eat. So don't jump into Mounjaro thinking, oh, I'll just carry on eating what I usually eat, and Mounjaro will just magically get rid of that fat cells and those calories. It doesn't work like that. I see it all the time. People on social media saying, I'm always vomiting, I've got diarrhea all the time. It's like, have you changed your diet? No, they haven't. So keep those things out of your diet when you're on Mounjaro. And that's when we move on to number 2. There's a reason why Mounjaro really does work. It suppresses your appetite. It's a weird one, this. You're in a situation where you don't feel like eating anything. Now, like I say, I've been fat most of my life as an adult. When I heard about this and I thought, no, that can't, no. This stops food noise. That's what we call it in the industry. You don't realize until you get on Mounjaro how much you're thinking about food in your normal day-to-day life. Literally, it just vanishes. I can go all day and think, oh crap, I better have something. I've not eaten. And you're not hungry either. You've got to start listening to your body, but be aware of what you're putting in. Because you're eating so little, you do your thing. My calories are very low. You have to make sure what you're putting in is the stuff that your body needs, because if it's not, your body will soon give you telltale signs that it's depleted with energy. You won't be able to sleep properly, can't go to the loo. Once upon a time you might have had 1500 calories, 2000 calories a day. That might really shrink down because you're struggling to eat. Start looking at protein shakes, meal replacement shakes. So it's stuff that's got your vitamins in and your minerals, like your proteins and your fiber. The little you put in, be very conscious about making sure it's good and healthy for your body count. I'm on week 14 now, and touch wood, I hammer the protein shakes and protein when I can, and I do stuff for fibre. I'll tell you about that in a further one down. I'll give you a little example. On the very first day I started Mounjaro, I thought I'll have a couple of rashers of bacon. A bacon butty was my thing, and I thought, and I won't have the butter on the bread, I won't have bread, I'll just have the bacon. So I cut the fat off, 2 pieces of bacon, stuck them in the air fryer. In my head, that's me being healthy. Well, that night, this was my first day on Mounjaro, I thought I was dying, and I'm not joking. I was so close from ringing our UK non-emergency helpline to say, can you give me something to counteract this Mounjaro injection, because I need off it. was that bad. It went, but it was about 5 hours in. It went all the way through the night, seriously, because it's such a slow digestion. This is why I'm doing this video, because I learned the hard way. A lot of people tend to learn the hard way. So this is why I'm doing this. I don't want you guys to be suffering like this. That takes me swiftly on to number 3. Mounjaro is such a slow digestion for you. It slows it right down. You cannot eat the quantity that you had before. If you do, you will constantly feel sick, or you'll even be throwing up. You cannot eat the speed either. Let me tackle that differently. So the quantity, I'm not joking here. I've made a Christmas dinner and I ended up with about 5 or 6 mouthfuls and I was done, because I've learned to listen to what my body is telling me. And the second one is to take your time. If you don't take your time, you're not going to give yourself time to hear what your body's telling you. I'm one of these people that automatic pilot. I was a busy mum, busy nana. Not like in France where they take the time and they really enjoy the food. It was like an automatic pilot. You can't do that on Mounjaro. Be very cautious about how quickly you're eating. One mouthful at a time, lots of chews. Once you get on Mounjaro, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And this is what the beauty of Mounjaro, it will tell you that you're full, because it's stuck here. Now, if you don't listen to this advice, but do expect to be throwing up, do expect to be having pains in your chest if you feel like you're having a heart attack, it's so uncomfortable. It's not like the full feeling you get before Mounjaro. It's completely different. Do you know how much food I've wasted on Mounjaro? Because in my head, I'm still cooking regular sizes, I'm still buying the regular stuff, and then you kind of realize there's no way I can eat all that. So what you have to start learning to do on Mounjaro is you eat very, very little, very, very often. So I have these little containers, the little plastic ones, and I usually put things in there. So you might have a boiled egg, and then 2 hours later you might have 3 or 4 crab sticks, and then a few hours later you might have a few prawns, and then later you might have a bit of steamed veg, and a few hours later you're going to have a few nuts, and then you might have a couple of strawberries. That's the kind of stuff you want to be nibbling on, and that's where, to me, is where my weight loss has come in. So if you can, before you start Mounjaro, sit down, start Googling high fiber, high protein, get rid of the carbs where you can, get rid of the sugar, nothing fried, no fats on it, nothing, and start thinking about the stuff you like. We've all got our favorite foods. Go out and shop and get them in. They're going to be lifesavers. Your brain takes a little while, especially at the beginning, to catch up with what your body's telling you. You have to make sure that unison works, because if it doesn't, that's when all your symptoms and your side effects will come in. Number 4, stock up on your protein, stock up on your fiber. I do get the protein shakes, I've got the protein bars, but they're just too much. I was wasting most of them. Get your nuts in, your seeds, your raisins. Chia seeds are good. Forget about the 3 square meals a day. Forget about eating quantity that you're eating before. It's not going to happen. One of my best tips is to get the NutriCheck app on your phone, or just an app on the phone where you can scan barcodes. You don't have to do it every time. Once you've scanned it once, you can copy it and make meals out of it and stuff. So if you've got like your regular meals, I quite like smoked salmon with some low-fat cheese spread in the middle. So I'll get a packet of salmon, and you scan the barcode, and then I'll literally divide it into 5, and then I'll sort of put some cream cheese in them, and it'll give me about 3 or 4 of these little smoked salmon cream cheese wrap, and that's one of my snacks. But once you put it into NutriCheck, you don't ever have to put it in again. You just copy and paste for whatever meal you have. When you start looking at your protein and fiber intake, you'll be quite shocked, I was, at how little of the good stuff, this is the good calories, I was putting in my system. You soon also recognize how much a dollop of mayonnaise is, how much a rather large scraping of butter is on your toast, how much a slice of bread is, how much that bar of chocolate is. You start looking at those numbers and you're thinking, okay, that's not hit anywhere on my protein or fiber, but it's hitting my calories. And then you think about what the damage it's going to do, the reaction you're going to get from Mounjaro for eating the stuff that's not good, like the oily stuff, the spicy, the sugary stuff. It starts re-educating you. This is the start of the journey of you re-educating yourself, and you can thank me later with this one. My lifesavers have been crab sticks, baby bells. I know they're not perfect, but it's the only calcium I'm getting. Cheese slices, I have to take medication in the morning, so I have a cheese slice just to put something on my stomach, but it's my protein shakes that have been the lifesaver. I'm not sure my energy would be anywhere like this if I'd not been having those protein shakes. We're getting to number 5 now, and this is constipation. You might not think this isn't an issue. It soon will be, because what happens, you've suddenly changed your food intake. You're not getting the fluids you normally should get with your food intake, and no matter how much fibre you have, you're gonna get stuck, trust me. Now, there's 2 elements: constipation, not enough fibre. Because I'm completely off my carbs, my sugar levels crash and I get super tired, so I stay away from them. You have to get your fibre in somehow. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit difficult, because you're eating so little, you just don't want to eat. You struggle to get the right amount of protein and fibre in your diet. But the fibre has always been a tough one for me. I take something called magnesium citrate. I would totally recommend you get something in before you start Mounjaro. I swear by this, and it took me about 10 days to work this one out. That was a painful 10 days, because it has a bit of a detrimental effect on your weight loss as well. I know when my weight loss has been a pound, I've not been going to the loo like I should have done every day. I've also not drank enough, and that's another part of this constipation, your fluid. Now, I'll hold my hands up and take ownership here. I was in a situation before Mounjaro, I'll be lucky if I had 3 cups of coffee a day, and that was my fluid intake. That's awful when I think about it now. No wonder I was so tired and lethargic. You have to drink. So what I did is I went out and bought about 5 water bottles. There's one in my car. I do change the water, obviously. So I've got them everywhere and I've got no excuse. I do my best, but I'm still not brilliant on it. But I can tell when I've not drank, because my weight loss is nowhere like the 3 or 4 pounds that I have some weeks. It's usually the 1 or 2 pounds. I've been really lucky. I've not put on any weight, and I've not stayed the same either. I have constantly lost weight. So this is why I'm trying to give you a bit of a heads up. If you can sort out this constipation, you're not going to see the scales not shifting. Those 2 elements are super, super important. They're all. You cannot carry on like you were before and just take Mounjaro and it will sort itself out. That'll do all the work. No, it doesn't work like that. The biggest takeaway from this I can give you is start paying attention to your body. Start listening to your body. I got so fat so many years because I didn't pay attention. I wasn't caring what I put in my body. I ate what I want. I just was unhappy with my body. Mounjaro is teaching me that I have to care. Start paying attention of what's putting in, because you're eating so little. It has to be the good stuff. You cannot get away with eating the crap. Mounjaro will tell you when you're eating crap, because you'll start feeling really poorly. I went away recently for a weekend and my daughter was quite shocked, and she said, even my granddaughter said, when are you going to start eating again? I said, no, I do eat. I don't sit down and have a big plate like I used to and like everybody else was. It's tiny, small nibbles of things. That is where I'm getting my substance from. So keep that in mind and listen to your body as you eat. Start to manage it yourself. Notice how you feel. So if you let it work, it will do its job. It will suppress your appetite. It will slow it down so you feel fuller so much quicker and for longer. If I can help in any other way, please give us a shout in the comments. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget and do subscribe. Till next time, you take care.